In the aftermath of the tragic Air India crash in Ahmedabad, the skies that once roared with the thunder of an engine now hung low with grief. Families were shattered. Dreams of young medical students returning home, of doctors reuniting with loved ones, all disappeared in a fiery instant. Amid the heartbreak and headlines, one man thousands of miles away in the United Arab Emirates watched the tragedy unfold not with detachment, but with profound sorrow and purpose. Dr. Shamsher Viola. A name known in the circles of global healthcare. A doctor by training. An entrepreneur by destiny. But most of all, a man who never forgot his roots. Born in Kerala, India, and trained in radiology, Dr. Viola built VPS Healthcare, one of the most respected healthcare networks in the UAE and the wider Middle East. Over time, he moved beyond hospitals into philanthropy. Yet despite the towering success, he always remembered where he came from and who he was at heart, a healer. When news broke of the Air India tragedy, of the young medical students from Gujarat who never made it home, it struck a chord. These were not just passengers. They were future doctors. They could have been me, he said in a private message to his team. Their faces reminded him of his own journey, the same spark of ambition, the same white coat dreams, now cut short. And so he made a quiet but powerful decision. I will give rupees 1 crore each to the families of the 4 students who died. But he didn't stop there. To the seriously injured and to the families of the doctors' relatives who perished, I offer rupees 20 lakh each. Let them know they are not alone. The total? Rupees 6 crore. No PR stunt. No press conference. Just a doctor's silent promise, delivered through the Junior Doctors Association at BJ Medical College, where the victims had studied, lived, and loved. On June 12, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner fell from the heavens, like a steel meteor, crashing straight into the Atulyam hostel complex during lunchtime. 4 budding doctors were killed instantly, Jaiprakash Chaudhary, Manav Badu, Aryan Rajput, and Rakesh Diora, along with 5 family members of doctors who were simply in the wrong place at the wrong moment. 270 lives were lost in total, but the pain is concentrated, unrelenting, and personal for India's medical fraternity. Speaking from Abu Dhabi, Dr. Shamsher's voice cracked as he recalled his own hostel days, beds pushed against cold walls, mess hall chatter, exam anxiety, a life now reduced to rubble and bloodstains. No one expects a commercial aircraft to come crashing into that world, he said, visibly shaken. This is not his first act of large-scale compassion. He had responded to the 2010 Mangalore crash with similar grit, but this, he admitted, felt like it happened to my own classmates. The relief package. 1 Indian rupee crore to each of the 4 deceased students' families. 20 Indian rupees lakh each to 5 severely injured students. 20 Indian rupees lakh each to 5 doctors' families who lost loved ones. Administered via the Junior Doctors Association, this isn't just a check, it's a lifeline wrapped in solidarity. One of the injured, Ritesh Kumar Sharma, a third-year student, was trapped under debris for hours, screaming into voids of broken concrete, unsure if anyone was alive to hear him. Now, with his leg crushed but his spirit intact, he will receive treatment and financial aid, but will still live with the images of classmates turned corpses. Dr. Shamsher concluded with a warning to all who reduced tragedies to headlines. These weren't just students. They were future saviors. Their dreams didn't die with them, we are now the keepers of those dreams. This wasn't just money. It was dignity. It was the kind of compassion that doesn't ask for applause. In a world where wealth often hides behind walls, Dr. Shamsher opened a door. Not just for financial support, but for hope. He didn't know these students. He wasn't related to their families. But he understood their pain. Because once upon a time, he too had been a young doctor with a suitcase full of dreams and a future uncertain. As the black box of the crashed flight is recovered and investigations continue into what went wrong, a different kind of message is being written. Not by authorities or airlines but by a man with no obligation to act, and yet, who did. Dr. Shamsher's act reminds us, while we cannot undo tragedy, we can choose to respond with humanity.